Hi, everybody. This is Susan here at Global Online Academy, making the first Friday share of the new term. So happy Friday. And today I want to talk about the Big History Project, which is a special program we're doing this year at GOA. And I think that there's definitely relevance for the kind of thing that you all do in your courses for GOA and also the work you do in your schools. The Big History Project itself is a course in which students study about 13.8 billion years of history. It's the scientific origin story, and it goes from the Big Bang to the present. And it has been developed into a high school course with some wonderful support from Bill Gates and his think tank. And we are doing a version of the Big History Project this year at GOA. We have 3 member schools participating, and we have designed a blended interschool course for 9th graders. So our teachers and our schools are Beth Calderon at the Blake School in Minnesota, and Tim Mortford at Columbus Academy in Ohio. And then we have Ben Watsky, who teaches at King's Academy in Jordan. So they each have a section of 9th grade, and so we've got 50-something 9th graders who are participating, and we're collaborating in all sorts of ways to take wonderful advantage of the materials at the Big History website, but also to ensure that we're building a class that leverages the online component of it and very much thinks about the global and how to let these students interact with each other. And then also that, fulfills the expectations of each of the schools in terms of 9th graders and the history classes that they take. So let me show you the Big History website. This is the homepage on the Big History website, and you can see Big History examines our past, explains our present, and imagines our future. And I'm going to just pop us inside the website, and we're now at Unit 2, which is the Big Bang. The first unit is a whole exploration of what is Big History, and then Unit 2 looks at the Big Bang, and more significantly, what came from the Big Bang. That's really the big, thing that we need to look at. So for every unit in Big History, the website has a variety of wonderful materials, a whole overview of the unit and a guide and what's in the unit, and then it breaks down into various parts. Like for example, 2.0 here is how did our understanding of the universe change? And for each part you get a lovely sort of diverse collection of materials that include articles, that include videos, there are activities, there are even quizzes, there are infographics. It's a really multimedia kind of approach. And it's also, I would say, very academic and very much about inquiry and helping students to really use evidence fully and thoughtfully. They have a whole thing called claim testers, which looks at how do we know what we know and where is the evidence that helps you to prove what you're thinking about. And it's also very, very interdisciplinary. So it's looking very much at science, the history of science, and you can see the materials are pretty extensive. We go here into a bunch of other materials for the Big Bang unit, and here's a whole section that's on. And throughout the course, there are experts that get brought in. So it's pretty terrific, the materials. But we have, and let me just pop us over to Canvas, we have developed our course in Canvas, which of course exploits those materials, but we are a team of 5. We have our 3 terrific teachers, and then I'm involved, and Jake Clapp here at GOA is involved. And we've had a terrific collaboration, which began this summer, in looking at these materials and looking at the course and using our teachers' expertise and what they know about their schools and their students to build a unique experience that will leverage the online and the global, and that will be meaningful for these kids and allow them to interact with each other. So an example of one of our assignments, in Unit 2, we're going to do this interview assignment, which ask the students to first think themselves about, what is the Big Bang? What do you know about it? I mean, many people have heard the phrase, they have some sense of it, but what do you really know? Then we're going to push them out into their local communities where they will interview a couple people. And as you can see in the assignment, we asked them to do 2 short interviews with 2 individuals whose backgrounds differ in regards to age, gender, religion, and more. So of course it could be an ethnicity and all sorts of different things. We want the students to interview and to gather this information, and we'll allow them to do it, in different formats, whether that's video or writing, and then they'll post this and they'll share it with each other. And each student will be in a cohort, which will basically be a group of about 18 students from all 3 of the schools, and they'll share their information and they'll look at it, and we'll get them to think about, what are we discovering about what people know about the Big Bang, and are there patterns or variables or different things that account for some of the variety that they might see. And I think that will be a terrific moment where the local ends up being global and enables them to look at individuals, but also how there's this phenomenon that most people have heard of, and to get a sense of, what do they know or not know. And then, of course, we will dive deeply into learning about the Big Bang and learning about the start of the universe and what came from that. So I think it's going to be a terrific year, and look forward to sharing more as the year unfolds. And happy Friday, and thanks so much for all your efforts on behalf of GOA students.